Hello, everyone. It's great to see everyone in virtually. While we're waiting for other people to come into the room, we would love to learn more about you guys. So we dropped a few questions in the chat, and we would love to hear some answers. You can just type it out in the chat. The first question is share with us your name and where you're based, and then share which category you're most interested in, whether it's the workshop or the publication. And how did you find out about the program on reciprocity? All right. Looking forward to read your answers.
It's nice to see some familiar names and people here. Yeah, so feel free to drop in your answer for those three questions Nana just mentioned. So while we are still waiting for the rest, perhaps like we can also like learn more about you guys as well. And thank you for some of you joining from like I know that some of you are joining from New Zealand and at the moment it's a late night. Thank you, Sophie.
Nice to see you, Wendy,
Yeah,
and
very
everyone.
well. And Sam, thank you. Thank you for joining from Barrio, I bet.
I'm back to KL for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To hear. And Winston as well from KL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Yeah, I saw some answer from the chat group. Mm. All right, I think perhaps Nana and Tom, perhaps we can kickstart because I think like there will be some more people joining in, but I think like we can kickstart with the introduction. Yeah. So and thank you Nana for like doing the introduction earlier. And so before we start, let's take a deep breath. We appreciate all of your presence here with us tonight. And I'm glad to see some of the familiar faces and familiar names like here. So thank you for being here with us. For some of you may not be familiar with Borneo Lab work and ourselves, I would like to give some brief introduction about who we are. The next. So I'm Wendy Teo, an architect and curator of On Reciprocity program. So together with us tonight, we have our program manager, Tam, and the content manager, Nana, tonight. So we are representing Borneo Lab to explain to you what this program on reciprocity is about. So this program will take place in February and March in 2025, and our activities will be mostly in Ting and Ting, Kuching. So coordinating with our partners within and around Kuching region. We will also go through our open call for a workshop and propagation content towards making a collective propagation. So since most of you may not have been to Kuching before, so Nana will also explain after my briefing more about the location, and also the culture and history about Kuching. And Tan will also explain to you the detail of how you can apply if you are interested in joining our program. And I know some of you already will be joining for sure. For those one who yet to apply, you can listen out what Tom is going to explain to you, and also to submit your content for our upcoming publication inclusion as well, if you interested in more towards the publication open call. So in the last section, we will also open the ground for discussion and for conversation. So we welcome you to put in your question in the Zoom or in Facebook. So our story has always been about how art can be a powerful instrument to bring people together. So through different type of creative exploration, we always aim to foster collaboration, connection, spark dialogue, or build a shared understanding across diverse landscapes. So be it propagation, architectural spaces, or exhibition, our project have been always about how people can come together productively. So every time we take, we give back as well. So said Ibu Anik, the rattan maker and harvester from Kalimantan, Indonesia, which is also part of our Serumpun project. So yet in today's work, practice of extraction often overshadow those giving back. In our research project, Serumpun, a collaboration between Borneo Lab and Glasgow School of Arts Innovation School, we uncovered that reciprocity is not just an idea, but a lived practice that can challenge the extractive paradigm of our time. So in our previous workshop, Future Positive Kuching, we explore on the idea of gotong royong, which is a local practice carry the essence of reciprocity found in Malay Archipelago region through crowdsourcing, crowd wisdom. So we enable the productivity with the stakeholder within and around the city. On reciprocity, we hope to extend the scale of gotong royong into a global one with our global partners and consortium. So later on, I will explain to you the consortium we involve. So first start from our network from Serumpun Research, which was also the one inspired on reciprocity. With our collaboration with Glasgow School of Arts Innovation School, we are interested in seeing how to enable the landscape of reciprocity and the research on that. And resolving global issue require global practices and approaches. These beliefs actually drive the setup of the Good Enough transformation, a program spanning 9 countries, 4 continents, and 2 years, supported by Globus program of Nordisk Couture Fund, is bring together academic, architect, designer, cultural institute, and grassroots community to form a global community of practice. So as part of the GET project, our material lab for betterment for the past 3 years has also reviewed an important truth. While bottom-up initiatives like material transformation are essential, systemic changes actually require a collective shift in mindset. So this shift involves confronting the truth about material, their past, present, and future, especially in the context of climate change and adaptation. Meanwhile, we are also interested in having the conversation in Pacific region. So as this area are facing intertwined challenges of adapting well in the climate transition, seeking balance from extraction economy, and keeping ancestral wisdom alive. So coastal, metropolitan around Pacific region are especially urgent in this conversation, as what this data from the climate organization showed. So this February, we invite you to join us on a workshop, seminars, and exhibition under the umbrella of on Reciprocity program. These event also aim to uncover the narrative from diverse regions and foster cross-disciplinary collaboration to explore the many dimensions of reciprocity. So our venue will be based in Ting and Ting. Currently, we are getting the space ready for exhibition, collective residency, and workshop. So this space is located in Kuching downtown, which will be in the neighborhood of the program we arranged for. So for those of you who are unable to join us in person, we would like to extend an invitation for you to contribute towards the propagation by sharing your story of reciprocity from your region. So together we aim to compound this narrative into a book, a collective resources that highlight the practice of reciprocity across the globes. So the concept of reciprocity is explored as a multifaceted principle, deeply rooted in human, cultural, and ecological relationship. These workshops also aim to unpack the diverse interpretation and application of reciprocity across different landscape and practices. So for those of you who might have questions about the article submission, the landscape of reciprocity, which toward either you are applying for the workshop or you are applying for the propagation. So here are some dimensions you can refer to or take as a reference. So the first one will be reciprocity as exchange. So as is simplest, reciprocity can mean the act of giving and receiving, a cycle of mutual benefit. So in this program, we explore how exchange between individual, community, and ecosystem are not just transactional, but also relational, fostering trust and collaboration. Second one will be reciprocity as acknowledgement. Reciprocity involves acknowledging interconnectedness, recognizing the role, contribution, and existence of others, whether it is people, cultures, or nature. So it's also an opportunity for us to reflect on how our action impact the world and to act with gratitude and awareness. The third one will be reciprocity as responsibilities, whether it is nurturing the land we cultivate, uplifting the community we are part of, or preserving tradition passes down to us. Reciprocity becomes a practice of accountability and care. And the fourth one will be reciprocity as balance. Reciprocity serves as a tool for achieving balance in relationship where there may be power imbalance, historical injustice, or ecological degradation. So the fifth one will be reciprocity as transformation. Reciprocity can also be a driver for transformation, shaping how system, communities, and creative work that can embody interdependence, sustainabilities, and mutual respect. Sixth one will be reciprocity in ecosystem, drawing inspiration from natural system. Reciprocity in the environment reflect how organisms coexist and support one another. Seven, the last one, reciprocity in intangible form. So not all dynamic of reciprocity is tangible. The exchange of knowledge, cultural tradition, emotional support, and creative idea also fall under this realm. So the next, I will pass it to Nana to further introduce you about Kuching, Borneo.
Thank you, Wendy. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathanie, but you can call me Nana. That's what family and friends call me. So I'm here to introduce to you me and Wendy's hometown, and I see Jane here too. It's her hometown as well. So I'm gonna go through this section by talking about the past and the present and then the future of Kuching. So I'm gonna start with the past. We have a long history of civilizations that have existed in this region, and we are a cultural melting pot. I was just talking to Wendy before our call about how many sub-ethnic groups we have within the state that we're in, Sarawak, and she said it ranges from 25 to 63. There's no way to really know the number, but it's a lot of indigenous communities that exist on this land. And many of these communities have traditions and cultures that are rooted in their relationship with this land, whether it's with the animals, the plants, or the rivers, the landscape. And each of their cultures are rich with different practices, with their relationship with food, their relationship with each other, with tattooing, with aesthetics, and so much more. And because of the river that runs through our city, Kuching became a very important trading hub, which drew in immigrants during the 19th century, and a lot of them are Chinese settlers, hence why I'm Chinese. And Kuching has also had a colonial past under British rule, And you will see some colonial buildings if you make it to our city center, which is where the workshop is happening. We also have a very strong connection to nature because we are surrounded by the rainforests of Borneo. And Borneo is 1% of the world's land, but it contains approximately 6% of the global biodiversity that is known, like the known species of plants, animals, and fungi. And the present of Kuching, I had the hardest time coming up with this part because I really don't know the words to describe the feeling of Kuching. It is safe, it is laid back, but it's also vibrant. And the word that I could really feel the closest to was warm. It's a really warm feeling when you're in the city. We still have the melting pot, obviously, and we really coexist in a beautiful way. Different races, sub-ethnic groups, religions, we pride ourselves on the fact that we live together well, and we uplift each other's differences, but also there's a lot of mixing of cultures. Like Wendy can tell you about her own family history, about how there's so many mixing of races, of religions. She calls it a constellation of these differences, which I find very beautiful. And because of that, we have very rich cultural expressions and preservation. And like you can see that in the crafts that are still practiced today, and the music. We have music festivals. We have museums that do a good job of highlighting the stories and practices of the people of this land. The architecture and the food, which I'm sure a lot of you are excited about. We are named by the UNESCO Creative Cities Network as a city of gastronomy. So I hope y'all are excited for that. Kuching is also known for the beautiful nature. We have beaches and waterfalls and rainforests that are breathtaking, but also have a lot of spiritual history connected to all these landmarks. And with like every other city, we also have our challenges. We are urbanizing very rapidly, and with that comes deforestation and the displacement of indigenous communities. And as I mentioned earlier about our biodiversity, Borneo has already lost half of its forests, and that happened in the last 30 years. And so now is the future of Kuching. There are no photos because it hasn't happened yet. But as we look to the future, we're at a crossroads. We're at the edge of this transformation. And we've seen a lot of commercial development already that's happening at a very rapid pace. But there's also a growing interest in things like renewable energy and ecotourism and circular economy and a lot of other green buzzwords. There's obviously like much more to the implementation of these things. And so as we're looking to the future, the feeling is feeling scared but hopeful as well. I do believe we have the toolbox to tending to this land with care because they've done it for centuries, you know. There's ancestral and indigenous wisdom and a sense of community and shared responsibility that I believe we can continue to cultivate. So Kuching is at the crossroads at the moment of as we grow. And I believe that this workshop is so important because we are reevaluating the extractive growth models and thinking about regenerative growth methods. So I'm very excited for the prospect of all of you being in the city. There's really no place that I'd rather call home. So I'm excited if you get to see this beautiful place firsthand. So I'm glad I get to introduce Kuching to you. I'm going to pass it on to Tam now, and he'll talk to you about the logistics and the application process.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom here. Thanks for joining us for this briefing session, and I will walk you through the program overview and how you can be part of the program. right? So these are some of the these are the components of the reciprocity program. First, there will be this 5 days public workshop, which happens from the 14th to 18th February. Okay, this workshop we open to only 20 participants, and this will be a productive 5-day sessions dedicated to exploring reciprocity in design through research, practice, and innovation. Then next, we will have this residency program, but this residency program is actually an internal program, right? So it takes about 2 weeks. So this program we don't really open to public participation. So this program it's a sessions of case study sharing among the participants of their regional practices of reciprocity. Then within this period, we have 6 seminars, which 2 will be happen like among the participants and 4 open to public, with contents and ideas shared by the participants. Next, we will have this exhibition, which is also open to public audience. And finally, we have this publication where we aim to publish a collective work that explores and describes the landscape of reciprocity in your own respective region. Right, next. So with all this, we would actually like you to invite you to join us in this on reciprocity journey to co-create the exhibition and the publication content, as well as to join us for the workshop in Kuching. Next. So how to be part of this program? Right, so we encourage you to log on to our website, borneoartcollective.org, to read through all this background information first. So as you land on this page, click more information, and we'll find all these background details and programs and all these components. It's in this website. Right, next. So I will start off for this publication content submission. So as I mentioned, log onto the website and you scroll down, you will come to this area where we invite submissions that explore and describe the landscape reciprocity within your region, right? So you scroll down to the bottom of the page that you can see this submission link. Click on this link and it will lead you to the Google form. Complete the form and upload all the necessary files and fill out all the necessary information as required in the form itself. And after that, this application we will close by the 31st January next year, right? So you have like probably more than a month time to look into this submission. So these key dates to take note. After the submission, our team will go through a selection process by the February of next year. And if your piece is shortlisted, we will invite you to co-create the content together with the editor. This will happen roughly by the end of February next year. So once the publication is ready, and we will actually find a way to work with you guys to those. If you guys have distribution channels in your own region, we would love to hand you some copies of the books for you to actually distribute to all the bookstores in your own region. So that one we will work on it if your piece is shortlisted by the end of the day, right? Next. So comes to this exhibition, this is also a co-creation process. So as I mentioned just now, we're talking about the publication content. So once you submit the publication content, we will actually go through it and we will select 4 contents out of all these submissions, and we will expand it into the work of exhibition. And all this exhibition setup cost, everything will be covered by Borneo Laboratory, and this exhibition will be held at Think and Think. So this is based on the content submission, and we will shortlist from there and expand into an exhibition. Next. Okay, comes to the workshop. It will happen from the 14th to 18th, so it's basically a 5 days or 4 nights workshop in Kuching. So we invite how to apply for this workshop. As I mentioned, log onto our website and you scroll down and read through all this background information, and you will see this registration link and fill up all these information as required in the form. This includes an essay that reflects on reciprocity as practice, observed and experienced in your own region, with a brief explanation of your interest in the workshop and its alignment with your own current practice. And of course, a short bio of yourself. And this workshop, we're going to charge a fees of 1,005 ringgit if you apply by the 31st December. And this fees includes a 5-night accommodation based on twin sharing accommodation, 3 meals a day, except arrival and departure days, and it covers all these local logistic costs and entrance fees, etc., etc. So upon application, we will charge a 50 ringgit deposit. And of course, like once you submit, it doesn't mean that you will be selected for this workshop. We'll go through interview process. So if you are not selected, the deposit will be refunded to you, but it will deduct some of the processing fees from the payment portal. And some of the key dates to take note here, like I mentioned, we will go through a selection process, and the interview will happen starting from the week of 6 to 13 January next year. So once you submit, our team will get in touch with you and to get you to select the best available date for the interview. And our team will interview you accordingly to the dates that you selected. And we aim to notify all the participants whether you are successfully selected for the workshop by the week of 13 January, so that you have approximately about a month's time to actually prepare yourself to book tickets and stuff like that. And yeah, not to forget this 1,005 ringgit fees. Yeah, it's only all these local expenses. You, on top of this, you got to bear your own cost of all these flight tickets from where you are from to Kuching itself, right? So next. So this is a brief skeleton of the workshop that you're going to expect. So you will expect a collaborative research, reflection, and practical sessions that explore reciprocity in design. So this is a rough skeleton. So we encourage you to arrive on the 13th February. So because the workshop, the program will start in the morning on the 14th February itself. So you arrive a day before. So as you can see on the first 2 days, there'll be morning practices, and you got to experience the reciprocity in urban and as well as the suburban context. And the last 2 days is going to be a group discussion and presentation. And for the night of each day, there'll be a reflection session, a sharing session among the participants. And the last day will be a wrap up and also a departure. But of course, like just now I mentioned earlier, with all these seminars, some of the seminars will happen in between these days, right? So whether it's contributing to the publication, co-creating the exhibition, or joining us for the workshop, we invite you to be part of this On Reciprocity program. So visit our website, as I mentioned just now, for more information and some your applications. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, do drop us a mail, and we will share you our email, so you can keep in touch with us if you have any concerns along the way. So yeah, we look forward to your participation. Next, we will have this Q&A session. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Use this icon, raise your hand. We will attend to you if you have any questions so far.
If some of you wish to ask the question, like through the audio, like feel free to open your mic and yeah, and tell us your question as well. Otherwise, if there's any things like you wish to know more or comments, like feel free to also share your feedback as well. Don't be shy. I also noticed like most of you actually come from different region. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us like during this Wednesday evening and from different region. Yeah. So as because I also noticed that like some of you actually came from different consortium, like not simply the GET consortium, Rafael and Mirke, and also the consortium of like the Pacific Changemaker side, Sophie, Vishu. Yeah, so if you or and Amanda. So if you have any question, like feel free to share with us like how, yeah, any feedback.
Wendy.
Hey,
I have a question. So this workshop will be quite different from the last workshop, is it? The idea? Because the last workshop is also Gotong and Gotong is kind of the concept of reciprocity.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think the last workshop, like we were using it as you can see from the presentation, we were using the last workshop as a testing ground to test out the idea of Gotong Royong. But this time round, but previously, instead of like producing a publication or exhibition, actually this one more channel towards like a tangible publication and exhibition and discussion. So I would say in the essence and also the productivity goal, it will be quite different. Yeah. But of course, like there will be some similarity because we will still inherit some of the essence that we developed from the Gotong Royong side, which representing the reciprocity of our landscape. But I think that is just the start, just as an initiation for us to also gather the Gotong the concept of reciprocity that we can find from different landscape or different individual or group. Yeah, so I hope that answer your question. Yeah. So Yuan from Taiwan. So Yuan was the participant from our previous workshop happened in October. So Yuan, if you want to share like some of your thoughts, like feel free to as well. So since you've been to Gucci.
I am like wrapping up the trip also because it's quite I still don't know what is like regenerative design, but it's like a seed that planted in me, and it's an idea I really want to explore. And like I didn't know Kuchen exist like before I joined that workshop, but after I joined this workshop, I really enjoyed I really like that city and also like the geography of it because it's in Borneo and also you get to visit some ethnic group. What else should I share? Like yeah, it was perfect for me, the workshop. So yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question, if I may. I'm sorry. Hi, Wendy.
Amanda.
Hi, Tam. Thank you so much for the explanation you gave. I'm sorry that I was late, so I might have missed this information. Just wondering during the few days workshop, who will we be working with from Borneo Lab, or are there any guest facilitators, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are their backgrounds? Just so I get to know the kind of the essence of the exchange. Thank you.
So I think like our idea of hosting the workshop here is like because we don't want to pretend like we can be the teacher. You know what I mean? So I think like our end is like trying to facilitate the safe space for everyone. Because since like most of the people we knew from the, including yourself as well, Amanda, from the consortium, from the ASEAN area, like you guys already have like so much experience and also so much knowledge around this topic of like reciprocity, or even the understanding, not simply from the academic side, but also from empirical like practices. So we wish to like draw that into the table. So then the workshop can be a space, a safe space for everyone to put in their parts. So it becoming a collective like work. So it may be a bit different from the workshop that like always have this kind of like hierarchical structure. Yeah, but the way that we're trying to facilitate it is like, how could we like all together? I think Rafael and Mieke also attended the section like before already, like from the GET side. So what can everyone contribute? So how could we cook the stone soup? So while we have time, like I think there is a story, like one of our favorite story to share. It's like so it came from a tale that like so there's one guy who brought this stone with him, and saying that like he can like so when everyone, and he was cooking the stone in the water. So when everyone was very curious about like what this is about, so he was saying that this is the most delicious like stone you can ever get, like from the but if you, in order to have it, to try the soup, you will need to bring in your ingredient. So everyone contributing their ingredient, and eventually make a hot pot out of it. So the whole idea is like, how do we together, like by gathering the like-minded or different mind, like, so how could we make something impactful together? So this is actually our idea of like how to enable this workshop and exhibition, as we already know that like with some of you already like part of this, so you are already the expert from your field. Yeah, and I think currently it's more about like how could we all together having a productive section. As Tan mentioned, like there is a workshop which we will have like the section also open call to the public. Yeah, but there will be a collective like residency, which is like more focusing on editings and the writing and the production. So this is also like how we would like to conduct the section, and then resulting into the publication and exhibition.
Okay, thank you, Wendy. That's very clear and that's exciting. That's a really interesting format.
As well. Yeah.
Wendy, is
Sam.
this
Yeah.
is this three activities all related to each other? That
Yes.
and also is this going to be full physical session?
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
We do find that like, because for the past few years we did virtual and in-person workshop before. So what we always find is like, and actually some of you attended our virtual workshop before. So what we find like as a conclusion is like, of course, it's good to have both, but in terms of like this kind of discussion, it seems to be more effective and more impactful, like when the participants attend in person. So this one, like I know some of you were asking, and you were in the list as well. Some of you were asking whether there will be a virtual section for the workshop. In fact, like for this workshop, we won't have that option, because we also gather from our experience that like it's more powerful, it's more impactful, like when it is an immersive one in the physical realm. So we find it like it's important to keep it physical. And at the same time, like while you're asking whether these three they are related, yes, they are connected to one another, and the way we design it is like in order to have everyone to have a chance to discuss, to open out. Like so that's why we have that 5-day section. And then after that, like we need some time to do the productivity, to carry out the work. So that's why we have the collective residency. Yeah. And at the same time, the seminars, like how could we before the pre-departure, before the workshop happened, like how could we enable something beforehand? So this is also some things that like we will need to different from the previous workshop you attended, like because Sam and Yuan attended the last workshop we had in October. So this time around, actually, we will spend more time on the logistic of like before the workshop happened. Yeah, and also after the workshop as well. Yeah. So I hope that answer your question. Yeah, because they are related to one another. And one of the important outcome of this entire thing is the propagation. Hope that answer your question, Sam.
Yeah, and also another thing is this thing eventually can be replicated in our own setting. I mean the whole thing.
You
I mean
mean
how you conduct a workshop, how you I mean in a way that is this workshop eventually can be replicated in our own setting. Like for example, if I attending the workshop, so eventually can this workshop format can be replicated into the community, or it is just a one-time thing? I'm not sure how do I explain that. As can it be ripple, to further to bring back to the community and get them to co-create something from the workshop in Kuching or something.
I think, Sam, what you are asking is perhaps like how could you extend that invitation of Gotong Royong to
Yeah.
these and like because Sam actually worked very closely with the Highlander of Borneo, so this is certainly something we also wish to engage as well. So I think to answer your question, like whether this invitation can be extended to the community further, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like because we are interested in hearing the story of reciprocity from different landscape anyway, and then to gather them into the publication or exhibition. So this is already our initial intention. Yes. So the short answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Andy.
Any more question from the rest?
I guess my question is quite basic, but as a fresh applicant and maybe someone who's not very established in the field, maybe still kind of trying to figure out exactly what my field is. I guess what is the most important thing that you're looking for?
I would say, well, it could be so many answers, but I think like for now, for someone who are interested in this, because in our previous workshop, what we find not necessarily those one who coming from the expert field, they contributing like the most. I think the most important trait will be the curiosity to know more, the curiosity to and also the open-mindedness. The open-mindedness is very important because what we have on the table right now with the participant, the confirmed participant we know that everyone coming from very different field, very different landscape. So we also wish that like we are very open to different type of like participants like with different experiences anyway. So we just hope that like the participants like will also carry the same. Yeah. So Anisha, I hope that answer your question. Yeah. But and don't worry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions from the rest? Or comment? So we also have our photographer here as well, Jane. Thank you for coming. So you will see her like all along the process during the workshop.
So Wendy, another question from
problem. Go ahead.
yeah. Just wondering, even without attending the workshop, also we can apply for exhibition and also submission to the application.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's not necessary that we need to go into workshop to
No.
they participate into exhibition and publication. And exhibition and publication are also two separate things.
Okay, so for the exhibition, maybe I can explain. Like the one I think you perhaps I missed out what time, like explained earlier. So for the pool of submission of like the writing contributed by the intended participants to join the open call for publication content inclusion. So out of those like submission, we will select four. We will select four and turn them into exhibition. But of course, like working together with the authors. Yeah. So if you submit in like and it's also our intention to include those one perhaps they are far in other region. Like for example, we have partners from Canada, and if they want to travel in, it seems like it's going to take like 50 hours. So how could we enable their participants in the process? So we thought like it will be good to have this as a format of participation. So we just want to open up this route for people who couldn't attend the workshop but want to be part of it. Yeah. So Sam, if you wouldn't be able to join the workshop, like but you intended to also be part of it, like feel free to send in your articles. Yeah. Like before 31st of January. So then we will look into it. Yeah. So we have so if you are interested in the workshop, then the deadline will be a bit earlier because we also need to use that as a material that we can ascertain the we can go through during the interview. So then the deadline will happen on the 10th of January. Yeah. So I hope I explained it like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. Hi everyone.
Hi,
Hi Wendy 老师. Yeah, I'm new to the workshop because I never been to coaching also. So I'm wondering about the application expectation from Borneo Lab site. Is it any requirements or the research background that we need to fulfill when we submit the write-up?
So in fact, if you go through the website, it's like so when there is also a description on like what do we mean by the reciprocity. So we try to gather the case study from different region. So on your end, because you yourself like in fact Chacha is also one of our past participants from a virtual workshop. So you never been to Kuching, and but I think that when you look into the website, there is a description on like there are different 7 dimensions of reciprocity we're interested in, but you can also expand beyond that 7 dimension. Yeah. because like those actually is something we gather and synthesize from our experiences, and also the case study we look through. But if you have something like you can expand on the reciprocity from your region, from your landscape, feel free to write us the article, so we will look into it. And in fact, it's not like after you write in, then we will just like look at it and mark, because it's like we don't consider ourselves as like the marker. Like we just want to like go through this process with you and also understand from you. So like after you write in, do expect our email as well. We will actually like communicate like quite closely with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? If there's no more question, perhaps we can end the section here. Yeah, but before we end, would that be okay that like I ask you all to turn on your video, so then we can take a photo. Thank you. Okay, I've done it. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending this section. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
Bye-bye.
Bye, Wendy.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
Hello, Winston.
Oh. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Are we still on live stream?
Are we still on live stream? I think we need
Yeah.
to stay. Yeah,
Okay, let me end the recording.
end the recording and also
Let
end
me
the
know
live
if you
stream.
guys are